What's going on, guys? Fearmaky here, bringing you another video. Let's get into it. Let's roll deep and keep grinding out there, guys. Let's dive into the video. Let's go. Alright guys, welcome back to another build guide. Listen, quick disclaimer. Me personally, I would not use Lepic as a full gun character because of so much potential that he has with skills, and his power on overkill is just insane. But the last day and a half, I've been testing my Enduring Legacy and pushing the gun build, not because I want to go full guns with Lepic. You can if you want to, solely for the purpose of seeing how far I can push the limits on Enduring Legacy. And the test gauge that I use for me, you guys can use whatever you want, was trying to kill Devourer with only guns. I did pop overclock for the additional firearm buff increase because of the shot focus mod that I'll show you guys. And once I successfully killed him over a half a dozen times, I said, okay, this is what I'm going to settle on. This is what I like. And in the end, I'm only going to be using my gun and my Enduring Legacy as a filler between my damaging skills anyways. And this is the highest damage output I'm going to get, because I know when push comes to shove and pushing it to the fullest limit, I was able to kill Devourer with this setup without, you know, going crazy with the other mods. There are higher damage in weapon mods if you're solely focused on damage, that if you wanted to go for the Enduring Legacy. But I wanted to do a dot fast firing rate build with it, and that's what I chose to do. So I'll share that with you guys. And with this, I was successful in killing Devourer multiple times with only using the overclock for the additional firearm damage increase in 0 skills, as you've seen on the showcase. Anyways, let's get down to the build. The Reactor doesn't really matter what you use because we're going guns here. The components I was able to get multiple kills with the Slayer set as well as the Annihilation set. I'm going to just talk about the Slayer here quickly. You get 8% general rounds capacity, so you have a bigger ammo capacity, and you have 9% rounds per magazine. That's how much you can fire before you have to reload your weapon. That's the reason why I went with this. If you go with the Annihilation set, you will get firearm attack increases proportionally to the ratio of HP to HP loss, up to 26% when your health is 50% or lower. And it lasts for 10 seconds, and there's a 30-second internal cooldown on that. You also get the additional 5.7% duration on your overclock, which will essentially give you slightly more damage if you chose to go that way. There's no wrong answer here. If you want to go a longer duration and you're going to play low health and you want to get the 26% firearm attack for 10 seconds, go Annihilation. If you want to go with a bigger magazine and just more rounds in general, then go with Slayer. Both sets I tested works on killing Devourer. You're not going to have an issue. So for the weapon, the weapon is going to be last. We'll go over the Descendant Modules. The Descendant Module, you want power unit change. This, what we'll do is overclock no longer increases skill power, it increases firearm attack instead. What that does is when you pop overclock, which now becomes power unit change, it increases your firearm attack increase amount by 52%, as well as your explosive attack increase by 52%. If you wanted to do a grenade gun build with this, this is what you would use. And I did put on the shot focus mod This mod doesn't really, it says 15% firearm attack. Obviously it is more damage, but in the end it's like 2 to 3% overall more damage. Doesn't really make or break the build. So I would not, obviously in my final version of the build, I would not be using this. I'll go back to my regular Fearmaky skill build while still keeping my Enduring Legacy weapon equipped, of course. But this is what I use: power unit, shot focus. I went for maximize duration to increase the time on power unit change. You can see it lasts 9.3 seconds. All right, the longer this lasts, the more firearm damage you deal, etc. These are the stats that I went with. Again, doesn't really affect your gun except for the 15% firearm attack from shot focus, and of course your power unit change Transcendant mod. All right, now for the weapon itself, the Enduring Legacy. Here are the base stats on the weapon. Obviously the firearm attack base is 13,155. It's an increase there because of shot focus. This is the base stats. My Enduring Legacy is fully upgraded to level 4, as you can see here. So when I attack, it has a 6% status effect trigger rate on hit. And what it does is it lasts 0.4 seconds. The quenching debuff, it stacks up to 50 times, and that will reduce the fire resistance on the target. And it's 0.8% fire reduction per stack. And you also get an inherently 11% firearm attack when you're hitting the target that's burning. And because we have our mods on our weapon that I'll show you, the target will always be burning no matter what. All right, so let's get down to the mods. So for my Enduring Legacy, for my mods, I chose to go with Rifling Reinforcement for the 32% firearm, Action and Reaction, which is another 61% firearm attack, Sharp Precision Shot. This is a must for our ultimate Lepic overkill skill, so you have to keep this on there, but it also gives you huge firing rate. You hold down the button and within like 5 seconds you're gonna get max stacks and get massive attack, fire rate and firearm attack as you're holding down the left click. I went with Exchange Weapon Charge for the increased rounds per magazine. This will make your magazine go from 115 rounds up to 181. Therefore, you know, lessening the times you have to reload your weapon. I chose fire rate up over fire rate concentration. I had a lot more successful kills with fire rate than, I don't think I ever killed it with fire rate concentration. I don't know, obviously, right, the more damage you deal to the boss, the faster he's going to build up his immunity gauge. So maybe the critical hit damage was triggering that too often and making him go immune too quickly. So I just opted to go with the fire rate, and this gave me the best results. Fire enhancement. This is massive. You need this on your Enduring Legacy in order to proc its special ability. You either have to have the mod equipped or you need to roll the enchantment on your weapon. As you can see, I have firearm critical hit damage, weak point damage, firearm attack, electric attack. Make sure you have weak point damage, because I'm not using a weak point damage mod because I'm going more of a dot damage over time build. But make sure you have weak point damage rolled on it, because it's another multiplier bucket that you want to dip into. You can also, you know, just run a weak point mod if you wanted to, and then not worry about that here, or you can even go higher with that. But this is good enough for me. And make sure you have a secondary element, either electric, ice, poison, etc., or fire. Okay, if you run fire here, then you don't need a fire mod. You can use a electric mod instead, a electric enhancement mod. But I chose to go with electric here. Electric, reason why I chose electric, I went over this on a video. And right now it's not working, but electric is supposed to make the target lower their defense and essentially make them weaker, allowing us to do more damage. Right now it does not work. Once you put up a fire debuff from the gun, you cannot apply a second element debuff to the target. And even if you were to apply electric debuff, I tested it with a friend, the defense does not increase on the target, therefore they don't take any more damage. I don't know if this is a misinterpretation on the description here, or if it is a bug, but if this in the future is fixed, either the interpretation is fixed or it does indeed weaken the defense on the target, electric by far will be the best element that I would want on my weapon. So back to the mods. So I have electric as enhancement stat on the weapon, and then I'm running with the fire enhancement mod. This will increase your firearm attack equal to 30%, adds a fire attack equal to 30% of your firearm attack. So in our case, I'm doing 25,389, firearm attack. So we'll do 30% of that as fire damage to the target. I went with Insight Focus for the critical hit rate and the critical hit damage. I went with Better Concentration for the firearm critical hit damage, Better Insight for the firearm critical hit rate, and Concentration Priority, which is an insane mod. It does increase your reload time, but you can cheese the reload time, as everybody is aware now. After about 80% of your reload time, you either dodge, or you use your grappling hook, or you use a skill, an ability. You can cancel out the reload and reload instantly, which in our case, when you're reloading your gun, you want to cast your overclock 80% through. That way you get the buff and you reload already. You don't have to wait till the end. Okay, obviously I can't do now because it's on cooldown, but that's what you do. So those are my mods. This is what I am using. These are the stats that are on the weapon. I was able to successfully kill Devourer multiple times, over half a dozen times. I'll leave the clips here at the end of the video so you guys can see. Again, one last time, I'm not building Lepic as a gun character. I would not recommend that. It was just for my own knowledge in testing, to see how I can maximize the damage in my Enduring Legacy. And if I can kill Devourer in one phase without him going immune, without using any skills, then this works for me. While not sacrificing, my skill damage or my character itself. So to go back to Lepic here, I would fix this, and I'll do it here in the video for you guys. I'll put back Firearm Master in Battle of Stamina for the health, and then I would put back on Nimble Fingers. I'm using a focus on fire. Okay. To get the shot focus, go to Cillian, the Module Master in Albion, and combine 4 Cerulean mods, rare mods, and you guys will have a chance to get shot focus. It's not guaranteed. Good luck. Alright fellas, that's it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to comment, like, hit the subscribe button. I appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay grinding out there, guys, and roll deep. Woo!